Hello, friends. So I say it all the time, and I'm going to say it again today. Spending just a little bit of time each week strengthening your core, your hips, and your butt is probably the most important thing that you can do for your physical health because your core, your hips, and your glutes are the main stabilizer muscles for your spine. And when your spine is healthy, you're healthy. And if you suffer from things like chronic low back pain and sciatica pain, these exercises can really help give you some long-term relief. And if you don't suffer from those things, these are the exercises that will help you prevent those injuries from ever occurring. Not to mention, we all feel more confident and more energized with a toned tummy, hips, and butt. So grab your mat and let's have fun with this short little practice together. Before we begin, if you enjoy my classes, then please click the subscribe button and check out my Patreon site. The link is below in the video description. Patreon supports me making these videos, and it gets you access to monthly live streams. We just had a really fun one this morning. I post full 1-hour classes on my Patreon site. And book club. We just finished a book. It was really, really wonderful. We're going to start a new book in September. And my dear friend Cole Chance from Cole Chance Yoga will be joining me to co-host this next book club. I'm so excited, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're a patron already, thank you so much. And if you're not, please check it out. It's a really cool community, and it's a great way for you and I to connect on a more personal level. So let's start our practice in child's pose because that is a beautiful place to start. Okay, get on your mat and bring your big toe mounds together, your knees wide, and sink your hips back to your heels. Reach your hands out in front of you. Get a nice big stretch. Big breath in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. And let the upper body and the forehead come down to the mat. Another big breath in. Open mouth, exhale, and relax. Let's come back to a normal breath in and out through your nose. And take big, full, deep breaths. With every exhale, feel any tension, stress leaving the body, melting into the breath. Feel the weight of your body melting into the earth. This is a nice way to welcome some space into the low back and get a little stretch in the hips as well. And into the side body as well. So feel that, breathe into those spaces. And just welcome a little earth energy. And walk your hands over to the right. Place the left palm on top of the right. And as you exhale, dip the left armpit and ribs down to the earth. Lift up the right ribs and feel that little twist and that extra stretch in the left side of the body. Inhale, level it back out and walk the hands over to the other side. Off the left side of the mat. Right palm on top of the left, and this time as you exhale, dip the right armpit and ribs down. Lift the left ribs just a little bit. Again, just welcome that extra little bit of stretch into the right side body, all the way from the right elbow down to the right hip. Inhale, level it out, walk the hands back in front of you, and then lift the hips off the heels, walk your hands forward into puppy pose. Stack the hips over the knees, get a big stretch through the arms, and as you exhale, let your heart melt down toward the earth. Now you can look down here if that feels good in your neck, or you could look forward for a deeper stretch, but only if it feels good in the neck. And I like to imagine my heart as the center of a hammock here, And gravity pulling the heart down to the earth, opening the heart, extending through the upper back. Maybe the chest and chin come all the way down, maybe not. Just take it to a place that feels sweet to you, opening but not overdoing it. And keeping your arms and elbows and forearms where they are, move the upper body forward, stacking the shoulders over the elbows, extend the legs back behind you for a little Sphinx Pose. Now, Sphinx Pose is really hugely beneficial and therapeutic for the spine because we're hunching over, most of us are hunching over all day or sitting all day, and that compresses the front of the discs in the vertebrae. And so what we're going to do is we're going to undo that by gripping the mat, pushing into the earth, push the heart forward, draw the shoulders back a little bit, and gently push into the tops of the feet as well. So you should feel an extension and opening of the upper back. Gently breathe as you push the heart forward and draw the shoulders back. And this does give you a little gentle compression in the low back. It should feel very gentle. If it feels like too much, then just don't push so hard. And really want to open from the upper back. Instead of pushing yourself back, push the heart forward. And that gentle compression on the back part of the discs in the spine is the reversal of what happens when we sit all day and hunch over all day. Just breathe into it, relax. As you exhale, come all the way down to the mat, reach your hands overhead, wiggle your fingers and toes, great big breath. Exhale, rest a cheek on the mat and just let your body melt into the earth. Let's come up to tabletop, so bring the hands underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips, and we'll move through just a few cat-cows here. So wrap the elbows in, push the heart forward, let the belly drop, tailbone lift, and exhale, push into the earth, cat round through the upper back. Inhale, heart forward, shoulders back. Exhale, round and flex, draw the navel in, firm up the belly, and just continue like this with your own breath, at your own pace. It's a really great way to welcome some space into the upper back, again, just like Sphinx Pose. And we're waking up the core muscles as well and the hip muscles. One more time, exhale, round and flex. And then let's sit back to child's pose once again. Reach the hands forward, exhale, let the forehead melt down to the earth. Sit back to your heels and sweep the legs around in front of you. Okay, we're going to work into our first core exercise. This is called set point exercise. It is phenomenal, and it's really easy too. So set point exercise gets below the ab muscles into a muscle called the transverse abdominis, or TVA, and it's this big band of muscles that wrap around all the way to the low back, deep underneath the ab muscles. It's the main stabilizer muscle in your whole body, and it's the main stabilizer muscle for spinal health and support. So it's really important. And when your TVA is strong, you feel dynamic, you feel vital. Okay, come to your back, stack the knees over the hips, arms along your sides, and just watch me, and then we'll do this together. So head and shoulders resting on the mat, arms along your sides, knees stacked over the hips. The shins are parallel here, parallel to the mat, okay? So they're not angled up and they're not angled down, but they're parallel to the mat. Feet are flexed. Now, all you're gonna do, keeping the shins parallel, is start pushing the feet toward the front wall, nice and slow. Right away, you're going to feel a tightening of this band of muscle in the deep core. You keep pushing forward nice and slow. Now, some of you might notice a point at which all of this tension in the belly seems to go into the low back, and the back wants to arch a little bit, right? If you get to that point, I want you to back up, bring the tension back into the belly, and hold there as we count. Some of you may extend the legs all the way out and you still feel it mostly in the belly, in which case, just extend the legs out and count. Okay, here we go. Stack the knees over the hips, shins parallel to the mat, so not angled up or down, and begin to push the legs slowly out, noticing that juicy sensation of the core starting to work here. Press the low back and the sacrum into the mat. And when you find that point at which it starts to dump into the low back, back up a little bit, hold there for 10, 9, 8, 7, let the body shake, 6, 5, breathe into it, 4, 3, 2, 1. Draw knees into chest, little sweet rock side to side. Awesome, awesome work. Okay, we're going to do that one more time. Bend the knees, stack the knees over the hips, shins parallel, and begin to push the feet slowly out. Breathing big, full, deep breaths as you go. And tap the tummy a little bit. Notice how beautiful that feels, right? Engaged. Continue pushing the feet until you find that sweet spot. Hold there for 10, 9, 8, breathe, 7, 6, 5, allow your body to shake, 4, 3, welcome whatever sensations, 2, and 1. Draw knees into the chest. Beautiful work, y'all. Rock a little bit side to side. And then extend the arms and legs, get a great big stretch. Wiggle the fingers and the toes, big breath in. Exhale, let your body melt. Close your eyes for just a moment. And blink your eyes open. All right, now we're going to work on the ab muscles. So we're moving up a level from the deep core muscles to the ab muscles with Yogi Bicycles. Okay, interlace the hands behind the head. Bend the knees. Knees are stacked over the hips. And as we exhale, right elbow comes to the left knee as that right leg extends. Try to make contact at the top if you can, and then switch. Now notice we're moving nice and slow here, using the ab muscles to draw the elbow and knee together, not yanking on the head and not using momentum to jerk the body around, okay? So here we go for 10, 9, 8, nice and slow, 7, just do as many as you can, 6, if you need to stop, that's okay, 5, 4, 3, try to make contact if you can, 2, and 1. Let the body rest. Draw knees into the chest. Rock a little bit side to side. Breathe, relax. All right, now let's do that whole sequence one more time. Interlace the hands behind the head, knees stacked over the hips. This time we're going to start left elbow touching the right knee, left leg extends. Here we go. Touch for 1, touch, and 2, nice and slow, touch, and 3, touch, and 4, touch, and 5. Just close that gap as much as you can. 6, between the elbow and the knee. 7, using your ab muscles. 8, 9, and 10. Nice. Draw knees into the chest. Little sweet rock. Breathe. Great big breath in. Exhale, let the whole body melt and relax. All right. Go ahead and push yourself up to a seat. Now, we're going to work into the hips with some hip flexor triangles. These are so good. Hip flexor is the big muscle in front of the hips. It extends into your quad. And it's a really important muscle for spinal support, for overall body mobility and stability. Okay, here's what these look like. I'll demo, and then we'll do them together. We're going to start in a seated position, feet straight out in front of you. Feet are flexed. Now, sit up nice and tall, hands planted on either sides of your hips. You're going to float the left heel. Keeping the heel lifted, extend the leg out wide, and then lift this leg up to the top of the triangle, hold, and come down to a float position. Don't touch the heel, and then we'll continue. Just like that. We're only going to do 5. How bad can 5 be? Right? Okay, 5 each side. Here we go. Left leg lifts, open it wide, take it up to the top of the triangle, and then come down to an inch above the mat. That's 1. Take it out wide, lift it as high as you can, and float for 2. Out wide, take it all the way up and hold, float down for 3. Out to the side, take it all the way up, float down for 4. 1 more. All the way out to the side, take it up as high as you can, and then slowly all the way down. Shake it out, shake it out. Now, if you find you're getting a little Charlie horse in the left leg here, that's common. All that means is that your hip flexor is not strong enough to lift the leg through all 5, and then the quad muscle and the rest of your leg muscle is like charging in to save the day and help lift your leg. What it really means is you need these because the hip flexor is a little weak. So, good information, right? Okay, now, right side. Here we go. Plant the hands on either sides of the hips. Float that right heel. Take it all the way out to the side. Come up to the top of a triangle and come down to an inch above the mat. 1. Out to the side, nice and wide. All the way up top as high as you can. And come down, float for 2. Out. Up to the point. Float for 3. 2 more. You got this. Out. All the way up to the top. Float it for 4. Come all the way out. Take it all the way up. And nice and slow all the way down. Okay. Again, shake it out. Now, it's pretty common that you'll find one hip flexor is stronger than the other. Again, the body is not symmetrical, and this is just good information for you to have because all of these asymmetries in muscle strength are, over time, they're what lead into injury, right? And so knowing this and strengthening both sides and keeping things balanced like this is injury prevention 101. Okay, let's do one more set, each side. Here we go. Arms along sides. Float that left heel. Take it all the way out. Lift it up to the point. Hover for 1. Out. Up to the point. Come down to a hover for 2. Out. Up to the point. Down to a hover for 3. Stay with me. Breathe into it. Come up. Hover for 4. 1 more. You got this. Out. All the way up top and as slow as you can. Come all the way down. Yes. Good job. Okay. Just pedal it out, pedal it out. Okay, here we go. Other side, nice and tall, we sit and float that right heel. Out to the side, take it up to the point, come down to a hover for 1. Out, up to the point, and down to a hover. This is my weaker hip flexor leg, I can feel that. Out and up and float. 2 more. You got this. Out, up, and float. Last one. Out, up to the point, and nice and slow, we float it down. Good job. Pedal it out. Pedal it out. Big breath. Reach your hands up to the sky. Open mouth. Exhale. Push the heart to the sky. Squeeze the shoulder blades. All right, let's come to our back for our final exercise. So right there, we just worked the hip flexors. That's the front side of the hips. Now, we're going to work the butt, which is the back side of the hips. These are glute bridges, and they're wonderful. Come to your back. And again, I'm going to demonstrate here, and then we'll do these together. Now, glute bridges, the details are really important here. So listen to these cues, listen to the alignment principles, and it will really help you in activating and firing the right muscles instead of dumping this into your low back. You don't want to do that. You want to feel it in the glutes here. So, feet hip distant apart. Bring the heels in just until you can barely touch them with your fingers. Now, you're going to push into the heel, and as you push into the heel, imagine extending out through the knees, okay? So you're pushing down through the heels and extending out through the knees, and you're going to continue until the hips come up in line with, you make a nice bridge here. You make a nice line from the chest through the core all the way through the knees. What you want to avoid is pushing so high that the low back arches. You don't want to do that, right? You're just pushing up to create a nice straight line from the chest through the core through the knees. Then at the top here, you're going to keep pushing into the earth, keep extending through the knees, and squeeze the glutes at the top. Little squeeze, and then we'll come down. Again, push into the heel, extend through the knees, little squeeze of the glutes at the top, and we come down for 2. Okay, that's option 1. If you find that those are too easy, you can opt for the second option, which is one-leg glute bridges. Same idea, only you're going to extend one leg in line so that the thighs are in line and the knees are in line, right? Now this lifted leg, you can flex or point the toes. It doesn't matter. Same idea here, but now all the weight is in one leg. You're going to push into the heel of the right leg, extend through that right knee, and then a little squeeze of that right glute at the top, and come down for 1. Push into the heel, extend through the knee, squeeze at the top for 2. Okay, we're going to do 5 each side, and we're going to hold the 5th one. Beautiful. It's a juicy, really, really good and effective way to strengthen the glutes and support the low back. Okay, so you choose. I'm going to do the one-leg version. You can do the 2-leg version if you want. You can switch it up. Listen to your body. Do what feels right for you. Okay, here we go. I'm going to start with the right leg. So, arms along the sides, push into the heel, extend through the knees, squeeze at the top for 1. Push into the heel, extend through the knee, squeeze at the top for 2. Push into the heel, extend through the knee, squeeze at the top for 3. Nice job. Push into the heel, extend and squeeze for 4. And last one, push into the heel, extend and squeeze. Now hold that squeeze for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come down. Nice. Draw knees into the chest, little rock, side to side. All right, now we're going to do the other side. If you did both legs last time, do another set of both legs. So I'm going to extend the right leg, arms along the sides, push into the heel, extend through the knee, squeeze, and come down for 1. Push through the heel, extend through the knee, and squeeze. 2. Push, extend at the top, squeeze for 3. Push, extend and squeeze for 4. And push, extend and squeeze and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, slowly come down, knees into chest. Beautiful, beautiful work, y'all. Good job. Couple big deep breaths here. And just go back and forth, squeeze one knee into the chest, extend the other leg. And now let's get a nice deep stretch into the hips and into the external rotator muscles of the hips and the glutes with a figure 4. So bend the right knee, place that left ankle on top of the right thigh, flex the left foot. You can stay there if you're feeling a stretch, or you can start to draw that right knee in, interlace the hands either behind the right hamstring or in front of that right shin. Close your eyes and breathe. And just let the low back and the hips draw down to the earth. Let the shoulders draw down. And then slowly and gently you can begin to pull that right leg into you a little bit more, into the chest, if that feels okay. At the same time, pushing the left knee away from you. Just little subtle actions, all it takes. Big, full, deep breaths. As you exhale, release that leg, and let's do the other side. So left foot comes down, right ankle on top of that left thigh. And again, your choice, you can stay here or draw that left knee in. And close your eyes. Sometimes coming into this shape, the body can feel a little bit awkward, like you're falling or rolling to one side. Just breathe and relax and let your body settle and find its own way. And then once things even out, you can start to pull that left knee in a little bit. As you exhale, release the hands, draw both knees into your chest. Again, a little rock side to side. And this time, take your feet up in the air for happy baby. Grab the outside edges of your feet. Let your feet open as wide as they wish. And then let the low back and the sacrum draw down to the earth. The shoulders draw down. Welcome a little rock again, side to side. Close your eyes and breathe. And great big breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Release the feet and melt into Shavasana. Begin to bring a little movement into your fingers and your toes, into your wrists and ankles. And with a great big breath in, reach your hands overhead and stretch. Feel life and possibility and energy start to move through the body with this big breath. Exhale, draw knees into chest. And roll to your right side. Push yourself gently up to a seat at the top of your mat. Bring your palms together at your heart and close your eyes. Now let's raise our thumb knuckle to the point between our brow, and we bow to one another in light and love. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you so very much for sharing this practice with me. This is a practice that you can come back to again and again. I highly recommend it. As I said, it really is one of the most important things you can do for your overall physical health, because in doing these exercises, you're supporting and stabilizing your spine. And when your spine is happy, you're happy. I'm happy. I love you so much. Hope you have a beautiful day. Thanks.